Today, there is a new and innovative treatment approach called recovery. Recovery is changing not only mental health consumers' experiences, but creating a paradigm shift in how providers deliver services to people with mental illnesses. Today, people with mental illnesses have hope, and recovery is becoming the expectation and the reality.
And then in May of 2006, we opened the program. And this has been a change that's been very positive and rewarding in a couple of different ways. First, it enabled us to really bring to the table a voice from consumers and a voice from the community. And that has been such a great transformation for us. Not to say that we had neglected that voice in the past, but just to really bring in our consumer partners to help us bring that perspective to the table. And it now really permeates everything that we do. It's not that we're working on them as perhaps we used to see our mode of treatment, but now we're working with them. And that's been a dramatic change. A lot of what we're providing comes from a model that many people are familiar with, but it's psychiatric rehabilitation. And this, basically means we're helping people learn skills, we're helping them find supports. We feel like if people have the skills they need, if they have the supports that they need, that's the recipe for success.
In 2003, the President's new Freedom Commission on Mental Health defined recovery as a process where people are able to live, work, learn, and participate fully in their communities. As you will see today, people with mental illnesses are doing just that. People with mental illness have hope and view recovery as the expectation. These extraordinary people are playing an integral role in transforming our mental health system into a system that is based on recovery as the expectation. In a report from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, the National Consensus Statement on Mental Health Recovery states that the 10 fundamental components of recovery are responsibility, peer-supported, individualized and person-centered, non-linear, holistic, empowerment, strengths-based, hope, self-direction, respect. Responsibility. Consumers have a personal responsibility for their own self-care and journeys of recovery.
I've been in recovery for many, many years. It was important for me to educate myself about my illness. I went to the internet and pulled all this stuff off about depression, about bipolar, the foods I should be eating, medication, what the family can do, how I can adjust in the workplace and all that. And I put it in a binder, and it was called the Living in the Polar Region.
The community support program began in the early 80s, and it was developed to help the folks who were leaving the institution or mental hospitals or facilities and going back into the community. And the community support program was to develop community supports that these people could use to live within their own communities. At that time, you rarely heard the word recovery. But now that we've grown and we understand more about how people can develop and how they can learn how to manage their illnesses, now we talk about recovery all the time. And we have seen people who have attended our Leadership Academy, who have attended our peer specialist trainings, who have developed into community leaders, who serve on the Community Mental Health Center boards, who serve on the department committees, who serve on Olmsted, who produce trainings, who now teach the Leadership Academy, who have reached a part of their lives where they can function in their own communities. They may have friends, they can have dates, They have their own homes. They have their own peer relationships. They have jobs. They really work in the community.
Peer supported. Consumers encourage and engage other consumers in recovery and provide each other with a sense of belonging, supportive relationships, valued roles, and community.
Very important person in my life. She got me into the Leadership Academy. And at the Leadership Academy, I learned that there is stuff out there in this world that I can do for myself. I don't have to sit in the house and murph around all day long or stay in the bed all day long. And it just fulfills just so joyful to me. People come up to me after I get through speaking and say, you just meant so much to me to hear your story. It just, I don't know, fills my heart, and knowing that what I had to say meant something to somebody.
Recovery does not discriminate. Recovery inspires all age groups.
And I work here at the Recovery Center. I'm a peer support. I was doing those things, but I didn't know that I was in a thing called recovery.
I have schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. I had my first psychotic break in 1995, and subsequently for about 6 years was intermittently in the hospital or in jail, to the point that I found myself living behind a dumpster in St. Louis, Missouri, hiding from the CIA. They tried 17 different medications on me and 12 electric shock therapy treatments, and none of it worked. I'm an instructor for the Department of Mental Health for the Kentucky Peer Specialist Program, and I'm a graduate of the Leadership Academy. And I just helped with the CIT training for the police officers in our area. And I'm in Frankfort this week for the 874K rally, which is a really big deal because the governor and the representatives and legislators will all be here. I'm very active in my community. I attend a lot of conferences and things.
To me, Phoenix Place is active, and it's not just a place, it's people. It's people coming together, people with a common goal and a common purpose in life, and it's a place where friendships can culminate, and where relationships can be enhanced, and we can go out in the community and we can invite others to come to Phoenix Place, see what we're all about, and encourage them to learn more about mental illness, because we all have gifts that we can give back. And when you give of yourself, that's the gift that keeps on giving.